Then I see her coming to my direction. In my mind, I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have looked so much. I blew all this. A stupid younger me on this other day decides to pour out my feelings to her. Why don't you talk to me at school? I greet you, but you say nothing. This was the... When I got to high school, things were very different, especially because the people that I tell stories about, most of them went to the same high school while I was forced to go to a more ghetto high school due to capacity. I started high school a month after majority of the kids did, right? But I wasn't the only one, because there was another dude, we'll call him Calvin, who started the same day as me and we would end up being in the same class in 8th grade. When we met that day, I gave him a handshake like a gentleman while he was giving me a ghetto style handshake, and I'm sure in his mind he was just like, what the heck. Since I was new, the usual happened, like I didn't yet fit in a group. Then after school, when we were leaving, I noticed one of the most beautiful human beings I have ever seen. Like, when I say beautiful, I mean forget about the girls I tell y'all stories about. Well, actually don't do that, but you get me right. So this is what I did to get noticed by her. I walked extremely slowly in front of her as if my legs were paining, and she said to me, excuse me, and got past. So that was strike one. Anyways, the next day Calvin decided to ask her to be his Valentine, but she rejected him respectfully. So I asked Calvin, you like her? He shakes his head awkwardly, and I already get the whole thing. At this point, me and her are already having lots of eye contact. In one of the classes, we didn't have work, so everyone was chilling in their friend groups. One of the friend groups that I kinda hanged with were playing games, and I wasn't so interested, so I just chilled alone. This other guy was flirting with her, and I would casually look at them. Then I see her coming to my direction. In my mind, I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have looked so much. I blew all this. Hi. Hey, why are you sitting alone? My friends are playing games, but I'm not like interested. Oh, what's your name? Andrew and you? Celine. We were having a conversation, and I'm sure the boys in the class were just like, this nigga is new and he's already talking to the most popular girl in the class. Or that they were expecting me to end up hooking up with this other girl because she was getting to know me. But hey, you know what they say, never let them know your next move. During another class, she came again and sat opposite me and my friend. Since my friend was there, I didn't want to leave him out of conversation, so we all had a conversation, but that didn't stop me from getting her numbers, and she wrote it behind my book. With us having a bond now, when I got a haircut, it felt like she was the first to notice. She would compliment me. When she got a new hairstyle, I would compliment her. Things were going great, and I gotta admit, first few weeks of me having her numbers were just boring. Like, the conversations we had on the phone were just lame. We kind of like stopped talking to each other, which means we spoke for about 2 months, and the rest of the year we didn't at all. A year later, she calls me few days before Valentine's. It's all great talking to her again. I think she wanted me to be her Valentine, but that didn't happen. I never asked her. She's still friends with Calvin, so I assume Calvin is now a male bestie, and now she has a boyfriend. She tells me his name, but I don't know the guy. All I knew was that he was in a higher grade. Since Celine was still friends with Calvin, and Calvin was the male bestie, and Celine had a boyfriend, where do you guys think I was? Like, which position do you guys think? Do you guys think like I was in a good position or a bad position? Fast forward, I broke up with my girlfriend in the area, and I texted her about it. She's like, I'm so sorry, Andre. She didn't deserve you. I love you, okay? I texted back, thanks, I love you too. At this point, me and her are having nice convos again on the phone that end with good night, I love you, all that. Then, a stupid younger me on this other day decides to pour out my feelings to her with a picture and those "this could be us" text. That message gets blue ticked. You know why? Because the boyfriend saw the message before her. we ended up meeting for the first time at the corridors, and we both had that stare. To be honest, I wasn't scared of the guy due to him being smaller than me, but because I had a temporary respect because he was dating her. So I just didn't bring up the texting to Celine. This is where everything changes. Why am I even saying everything? Like, this is where I changed. The person you guys know of changed. I wasn't the same anymore. Celine decides to go live. By the time I join, it's only her, her friend, and 2 guys. Her friend later leaves the live. One of the guys leaves the live too. So now it's only her, me, and one of the guys left. Which, for your information, the guy was about 40 years old, but that's a story for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, I began spitting Riz, bro. It was so fire that the 40-year-old left the live. Celine's little brother was briefly on the live, and I used that to my advantage. Being kind and all, and briefly having a conversation with her little bro, I could see how amazed Celine was. When the brother left, we started having our own convo, which was telling me about the experience of her having edibles. Just like, you know what, private message me, we'll talk there about that. I'm like, alright, why don't you talk to me at school? I greet you, but you say nothing. This was the conversation that I was looking for that could continue what we had the first time I got to high school. So I reply, nah, I do try to talk to you. I'm capping, by the way. No, you're lying. Then I'm like, you know what? It's time I tell the truth. Like, this is the right time that I can actually tell her how I feel about her and all that. And I say, my mom gets in the room and I instantly get off IG with my mom shouting at me. I think it was because I forgot to watch something. I just got off IG. Fast forward, I got back on IG and the live has ended. I text her, hey, let's continue. I said something like that. Hi, nah, it's cool. Like, what? We just had one of the best moments and you're gonna be like, nah, it's cool. I don't know if it's because of me just leaving IG without letting her know. I even went to school and asked her what's the problem, but she's like, nah, there's no problem, all is cool. I would try and text her, but she wouldn't reply, and I just stopped overall. And that's how it gave me a weird feeling of the first girl I vibed and liked in high school. But that's not all. It also gave me a disease. I know, guys, this sounds weird, but listen. It gave me a disease that targets guys when they want to talk to girls. I'll tell you all more about it in the next animation. And if you guys want to know how Celine affected my high school relationships after being with her, then like, subscribe, turn on post notification, and don't forget to share the animation to your friends, your family, and your pets. Peace.